Good evening, Commonwealth, and thanks for watching the Channel 2 News. I'm Ashley McDowell. Let's take a look at tonight's top stories. A disaster bill to bring more money to the CNMI is off to the president for approval. Also tonight, we bring you more on a budget hearing for CHCC. And for the first time, an oncologist is hired here on the island of Saipan. In sports, one sport drops out and goes back to the drawing board. Stay with us, these stories and more are next.
The phone you want now on the best network and a plan that gives you endless data on chat, social, and music apps. Tell your Docomo Pacific rep you want now with access. Docomo Pacific, better together. Some conditions apply.
Jose and Pedro were born on the very same day. Jose liked to play sports. Pedro liked to play video games. Jose's favorite word was pass. Pass me the ball. Pedro's favorite word was pass too. Pass me the rice. Jose is retired and has both time and energy. His life is just beginning. Pedro has diabetes, hypertension, and gout. His life could soon end. Eat less, play more, live longer. Brought to you by PHI, the pharmacy you can trust.
Half a day, Tirwami, and good evening, Commonwealth. Today is Wednesday, June 5th, 2019. The Board of Education met later this afternoon to discuss possible pay cuts. No information has been reported at this time. Stay with KSPN as we bring you more on this tomorrow. A disaster bill is off to President Donald Trump for signature that will bring $129.6 million to the Marianas. It's a bill that will help communities that were struck by typhoons, earthquakes, floods, and other natural disasters in 2018 and 2019. A release from Congressman Gregorio Khalili Sablan states the House passed the legislation and the bill is now awaiting President Donald Trump's signature. The bill was rejected 3 times before getting passed by the House. Congressman Khalili voted for $36 million to be available for the Marianas Medicaid program, $25.2 million for food aid, $56 million will be for solid waste facilities, $10.4 million for sewer and water infrastructure, and $2 million will be to help the Commonwealth manage all the money. Congressman Sablan says another $50 million should also come through a community development block grant for disaster recovery for expenses not covered by FEMA or SBA or other first responders. Sablan says, quote, "The Marianas has already been allocated more than $100 million from legislation we passed last year, but that only covers about 68% of the total unmet needs. So I expect another $50 million in CDBG-DR money that can be used to harden infrastructure and market tourism," end quote. The release states that Typhoon Mangkhut and Super Typhoon U2 are used in the bill to reference where funding will go. This will be the first time the Commonwealth will receive CDBG-DR funds. The Department of Housing and Urban Development will be sending a team to explain the requirements to the Commonwealth officials due to the large amount of money being made available. The release states the vote for passage was 354 to 58, with all the no votes coming from Republicans. We hear more on the budget hearing held yesterday with the Commonwealth Healthcare Corporation. Members of the House Committee on Ways and Means asked CHCC about certain topics like pay raises and new hires. Here's more.
We're looking at the budget. We had to sit down with the unit managers and the people actually on the floor, and to make sure that, what is it that they actually need. We know that there's a competitive market. Really, the competition is warm.
CHCC CEO Esther Muña says they have seen staff leave the island because of better opportunities.
We have a healthcare system to run, and we need to be competitive as well. So I understand that, we included the pay raise there. However, it's always, and I've asked this of the staff so many times, is that, where do we need to put the pay raise right effective immediately? We've actually submitted from the FY 2019 budget alone. There's a lot of increases there that if you go back to the FY 2019, some of those salaries have not been adjusted at all because of the austerity that we've already implemented.
CHCC Board of Trustees Chairwoman Lori Ogamoro says the board did vote on giving pay raises to the two top-ranking positions. However, both the CEO and CFO declined the offer because of the budget cuts.
We asked them not to take a pay raise last year so that we could evaluate her, and the CFO kind of followed suit. And then this year we voted to give her a pay raise. But what most people don't know is they both voluntarily said we won't take the raise because they know about the Medicaid cliff and they know about these things, the challenges coming up. So even though it may look like on the books that they're getting a pay raise, they have elected not to take that.
Another topic discussed was hiring new positions for the hospital.
What was the justification behind this request of extra positions? I see that there's numerous from all fields of section, and are we seeing an increase of services that needs to be provided?
If we are going to provide these services, they need to be reimbursable. When you look at the Medicare cost report, they reimburse us based on cost of services. And when we consider that, that is not the physician services. That is actually the support that comes with it. Those are the facility staff, those are the housekeeping staff, those are our billing. Obviously, if you're going to try to collect, you're going to have to get your billing staff upgraded. If you're going to have services, you're going to have to increase the number of billers. We don't want to just provide these services without actually getting reimbursed.
The CHCC just hired an oncologist for the CNMI, which will expand the services for the islands and provide more health care. But hiring a new physician also means getting more support staff.
If you're going to expand, if you're going to provide an oncologist, you have to make sure that the nurses are there. You have to make sure that everything that from the lab, from housekeeping, even from the additional, again, billers, making sure they're trained, all those things that come with it, it costs money. It costs money to provide healthcare services.
The House Committee are holding these hearings for any agency that wish to state their claim on a better budget proposal. Chairman of the committee, Ivan Blanco, says they will try and meet a deadline of July 1st to pass the budget. Once the budget is passed, it will head to the Senate for their evaluation. And KSPN sits down with the new oncologist hired by the Commonwealth Healthcare Corporation to discuss his new role in the expansion of the hospital. The Commonwealth Healthcare Corporation is making the treatment of cancer more comprehensive in the CNMI as the new medical oncologist, Dr. Peter Brett, brings a new clinical service to the CNMI.
If you are diagnosed with cancer here, we'll be able to take a look at you, make sure we understand what's happening with you and your cancer, and make sure you have a good understanding what the cancer means to you and your family. We'll be able to do a lot of tests here, like CAT scans and other tests, to get an idea of what's going on with the cancer, if it's spread or hasn't spread, and what the real meaning of it is for you and your family. And then we can kind of go over what's a real treatment plan, what would really work best for you and your cancer.
Oncology is a branch of medicine that deals with the prevention, diagnosis, and treatment of cancer. But what makes this so unique to CHCC is that this is the first time the hospital has hired an oncologist on island.
It just seems like there's much more of a need for a cancer doctor here than there is back at home in California, because they just haven't had an oncologist here. Whereas where I live in near San Francisco, there's 1 million oncologists. People can shop from one to another and keep seeing them for different opinions. But here they just needed one person. And
decreasing the reliance on off-island referrals, creating a more full-service hospital.
Prior to Dr. Brett, our procedure was to send people off-island. We would diagnose that they had a cancer of the breast, colon, whatever. Then they would go off-island to see a cancer specialist, an oncologist. And we used Guam, Philippines, Hawaii, sometimes the West Coast. But it meant a lot of travel for our patients, and some were sick and travel was difficult. A lot of communication between ourselves and the off-island oncologist. It was just logistically difficult, especially for the patients.
Dr. Brett can provide consultation and advice for someone that has been diagnosed with cancer, as well as decide what treatment would best suit the patient.
What an oncologist does is bond with the patient and their family and really get on the same wavelength with them about our joint understanding of what's happening with their illness and what kind of things can be done. And then a lot of also what we do is actually the treatment that we talked about to try and get them better. Sometimes that treatment means you cure them, and so their cancer goes away and never comes back. Sometimes you can't cure somebody's cancer, but you try and get them better for a time. And getting them better means their quality of life picks up, they're more functional, they're not hurting as much, and try and keep that going for as long as possible.
Also providing close follow-up of patients with cancer to assess any medical problems that may develop.
So let's say you get your chemotherapy and it's done, but we want to keep a close eye on you. And so you're going to keep coming back for checkups. We're going to be examining you, talking to you about new symptoms, getting tests on you, really trying to make sure if your cancer is coming back, we pick it up in time to do something. And that's really an important part of cancer care. It's not just say, okay, your treatment's done, goodbye. So keeping a close eye on people really for the long haul.
Dr. Brett has been a medical oncologist in California for over 25 years and has expertise in treating all types of cancer that occur in adults. If you currently have or have had cancer, contact your primary care physician to get a referral to CHCC's oncology program. Reporting for KSPN, I'm Ashley McDowell. Coming up, some students receive money to offset the cost of college. Find out more after the break.
Get the phone plan you're looking for at IT&E. Stay connected with the strongest, widest, and most reliable network in the Marianas. Stream, share, play, shop, and surf the web with super fast 4G LTE data. Whether you need just a few gigabytes of data to get by, or if you want to go further with unlimited data, there's a plan for you. You'll always get the best price. Visit any IT&E store or call us to learn more. IT&E. Explore your world.
Visit American Memorial Park, one of Saipan's leading visitor attractions. Open 7 days a week from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. The visitor center is located in Garapan, just a short walk from most hotels. This U.S. National Park honors the American and Marianas people who lost their lives in World War II during the Marianas campaign. Entrance is free. Take time to view the main film, to learn about the Battle of Saipan, and walk through the extensive and fascinating museum exhibits. Don't forget to stop by the museum gift shop, which offers unique and exclusive merchandise. All proceeds are donated to the park's education program. Come discover the American Memorial Park.
Welcome back to the Channel 2 News. Two traditional canoes sailing from Guam to Rota didn't have a problem, but their escort vessel did. Around 2 o'clock Sunday afternoon, DPS Rota Boating Safety responded to an emergency beacon coming from 15 miles southwest, where two sailing canoes and a broken-down escort boat sent a distress signal. The U.S. Guard also contacted the U.S. Navy, who launched a rescue helicopter and airlifted the passengers back to Guam. Rota had dispatched a Zodiac to make the rescue, but the extraction was already completed. Monday, the canoes returned to Guam. All passengers and crew members were reported safe. The Saipan Chamber of Commerce is giving students a helping hand in paying for college tuition, as a scholarship ceremony was held today at the Fiesta Resort and Spa. The Saipan Chamber of Commerce is giving $2,000 to 6 students to help pay for their college tuition.
This might be small to some, this might be big to others, and it's certainly a big deal to me, and so I'm just deeply grateful for it all.
Awarding 4 students from high school and 2 college students.
Originally, the Saipan Chamber of Commerce only offered scholarships to high school students, but back 8 years ago, we decided to include college students and one from a trade school. So if we don't have any trade recipient, we go to college students. We felt that aside from high school students, college students also need financial assistance or scholarships to help them, because it's also harder to get monies or scholarship while you're in school.
Helping students pay for a degree in hopes that one day they will bring what they learned from college back to share with the community in Saipan.
I think it's like an amazing opportunity for students, not only high school students, but also college students, to be given this opportunity to be helped financially to a secondary education. And I think it's really amazing that the Chamber of Commerce is willing to do this every year for us.
And although $2,000 may not seem like much, these students feel that every bit helps.
One of the most stressful parts of the college application process is figuring out how financially stable are you going to be after college. And so any form of financial aid that I receive is very much appreciated and is very much helpful.
I believe any scholarship is important for the students, because it helps them, whether it's a small amount of money, it helps them to defray some of the costs that are not covered with any other financial aid. As some people have mentioned, the previous scholarship recipients, they've said that this scholarship has helped them with their expending money, housing, and things like that, which is not covered by some of the financial aids that they have received.
Palacios says the chamber has been awarding these scholarships to students for over 10 years. Reporting for KSPN, I'm Ashley McDowell.
Thank you, Ashley. All right, coming up, when it comes to soccer, it helps to have numbers. We have a number, 2. KSPN2 Sports next.
The phone you want now on the best network and a plan that gives you endless data on chat, social, and music apps. Tell your Docomo Pacific rep you want now with access. Docomo Pacific, better together. Some conditions apply.
Welcome to Marianas Medical Center. We've been taking care of you and your family since 1998. We offer preventive health care services, acute and chronic care for both adults and children.
微产期以及妇科的检查
신생아 선별 검사 및 영유아 건강 검진
Meron po kaming food handlers, green cards, school at sports clearances.
Greenig Marianas Medical Center ma-offer todo klaseng serbisyo para hinamli familya mismo siya.
We accept Medicaid, Medicare, and most private insurance plans, and we also accept individuals without any medical insurance. We're conveniently located in the JKR building on Beach Road, Garapan. Marianas Medical Center, quality health care for your entire family.
Do you have a team or company? Bring them to the Adventure Specialist, Saipan's homegrown Marianas Trekking. Our guided adventures will challenge and excite you, and our award-winning photographers will capture it in a unique and unforgettable way. Check out our off-roading, go-karting, mountain biking, hiking, and snorkeling. And we have top-notch rental gear too. So bring your team, bring your family, or bring your best friend. Marianas Trekking inside the Mariana Resort.
Buenas sports fans. Buenas sports fans, 6 weeks to go for the Pacific Games in Samoa. The NMI contingent grows smaller. It's reduced by one team. Getting to Samoa from Saipan is not easy for the 2019 Pacific Games. Not only is the flight plan long and convoluted, it's expensive. About $3,000 for each athlete. A team of 10, and you're looking at 30 grand. That's a lot of fundraising. In addition, any sport representing the Northern Marianas also must be sanctioned internationally, and that's a problem for local rugby. Organizer Stanley Jacopo says their goal was clear from the outset.
Long story short, we've been preparing for this event for over a year, and we've been doing fundraising. We've been out there into the community, and they are fully aware of what our motives are and our mission and our goal, and that is just to be the first sanctioned ever recognized CNMI national rugby team.
That problem, though, is the lack of international recognition that's required by the Pacific Games Charter.
And that is because we are not affiliated with any international federation, for instance, Oceania Rugby, Asia Rugby, or USA Rugby.
Have you reached out to any of these organizations?
Yes, I have. Oceania Rugby, I reached out to them. They cannot help because we're not within their region. So we fall under Asia Rugby, same as Guam.
Jacopo has contacted Asia Rugby.
And so we fall within the Asia Rugby region. So I've already reached out to them, but they cannot help us out right now because it's short of a time and last minute.
Joining is more than just filling out an application form.
Right now we're splitting up our team into 4 squads. In order for us to qualify in World Rugby stage and fall within the Asia Rugby region, we have to have a league, a rugby league, and with that we have to have at least 4 to 6 teams.
That league may be coming up at the end of this year to align it with the Guam season. As for fundraising and support that they've received up to this point,
very sorry that we're not able to represent our people, and with all the families that supported us, rugby families, thank you so much for your support. I would also like to acknowledge our sponsors, Marpac, Lade Built, Team Mode, also Rufina Tropicals, for everything and all the support that they provided for us in this journey. Now, this is an obstacle, but we're embracing it and we're moving forward.
Each Sunday afternoon, the Dove League takes flight at KFC, the Cobreville Training Center. Kanoa FC, that's the other KFC. There's 3 on the island, I think. And Pyrie FC played a game until the referee told them to stop it. And that's right, and the ref told them to get off the field and don't complain. Protect your turf at all times. The thing is, this turf belongs to both teams. Anyway, Dove Women's League 11 on 11, except Pyrie had only 8 show up. Fans in the stands just wanted to see a good game and some action. First half, no score until Sue-Ann Huevos takes the ball all the way in. She sacrifices her body for the good of the team. Kanoa FC draws first blood, and you could see the concern written on Brittany Wally's face. Down by 3 players,
It was difficult for Pyrie to generate much offense. They were always outnumbered. Plus, Kanoa doesn't mind getting physical. Hey, that's what they love in the Dove League. Pyrie going for the equalizer. Gwen Borja blocked by Chevy Alipio, playing in their first game in over a year after a serious leg injury. Brittany takes that corner kick, and let's just say, nothing wrong with practice. Mary Kay Alfaros on the move. Aaliyah Indalecio defending a 1-on-2, and the defense holds. Major breakdown in the defense, though, here. Suhan out races Michelle Mazga. The goalie comes out, and the ball goes in, and it was 2-0 KFC. Pyrie's Aaron Frank with the corner kick, a two-hopper to Gwen. She turns the left foot lob off the crossbar. The deflection goes to Aaron. Chevy with the diving stop. Brittany trying to do it all by herself. She gives herself, though, a bad angle before tumbling to the turf. Rochelle Valina, the opportunity until she's knocked over by Aaliyah. Irish Pagaral, the free kick. She aims for the inside corner, and it's knocked away. Gwynn with a nice run down the western sideline. The pass intended for Brittany. Oh, it's intercepted. Aaliyah gets leveled. The forehand smash, no call. Gwynn tells the ref, that should have been a foul. And she gets yellow carded for that. And then when she complained again, she gets the red card. Bye-bye. Leaving them with only 7 players. And a forfeit was called.
Here's the windup and the pitch.
I don't believe what I just saw!
Get your game and gear at Gold's Gym Saipan. Group exercise is a great way to get fit and then stay fit. For something high tempo, go for a ride with one of our instructors in our new spin room. Let's roll. Pilates improves flexibility, builds strength, and develops control and endurance in the whole human body. It also improves coordination and balance. And the Shake Cafe is a great place to stop by for a meal replacement or supplement. See you at Gold's Gym.
Another scorcher today, the high at 90, the heat index 100, low 78, humidity 70%. Tomorrow, more of the same. Partly cloudy, isolated showers, east winds around 10 miles an hour. High 89, low 79, seas 3 to 5 feet. Sunrise 5:45, high tide 8:32 in the morning, a low tide at 4:48 in the afternoon, and then another beautiful sunset at 6:45.
Thank you, Bob.
Well,
those cuts.
Actually, I guess big story.
Yeah.
They were still meeting when we were going to news.
Yep.
But whether to have a pay cut, they got financial issues. So I'm sure a lot of people affected by that.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, a lot of the island is taking pay cuts. You know, we see CHC, all these places are having to cut back on their finances.
Not only employees, I mean, people have so much, budget, they're expecting so much, but also in this are vendors. Vendors need to be paid. So the business of the government is more than just paying for their employees. The whole private sector is also affected.
Absolutely. Everybody's...
CHC, CUC, can you pay your bills?
Yep.
And so there's a ripple effect.
It is. Everybody is seeing it too.
Wow,
It's bad,
what a summer.
So tune in tomorrow. We'll have some big news on that for sure.
Okay, I look
Absolutely.
forward to that.
Well, thanks for watching, and please do have a great rest of your night. Tune in tomorrow night at 6.
Good night.